Hiya friends, Prepared Suburbanite back with you. Hey, for all you seniors out there, can you remember the terms, "we will bury you"? Nikita Khrushchev said that at the UN on October 10th, 1960. I'm old enough to remember when that happened. Are you? Wow, that was quite the thing. I can remember my parents who were very conservative. I would classify them. I think they voted Republican, supported Eisenhower and all that during that time frame. And I can remember listening to their conversations about what this really was all about. We will bury you at the UN. And I think there was even Khrushchev talk of it anyway. I couldn't verify it today, but there was talk that he actually took a shoe off and banged it on the desk in front of him to get his point across. And we will bury you. The way that was perceived by most of the Americans at the time was that it was a direct nuclear threat against us as the United States. And I've been everywhere looking up the history of this particular quote. And this is not the first time that Khrushchev actually said, "we will bury you." He said it a couple of years earlier. I think he was in Poland and talking to a group of Poles. And at the time, that was perceived to be that communism will outlast capitalism and will be the dominant force in the world economy. So there's a couple of different interpretations. Most of the Americans at the time perceived it as a nuclear threat, and some on the very far left just said, no, he was just saying that communism is going to outlast capitalism. Well, I think he was right. I don't know if it's a nuclear threat from Russia or if it was a case of communism burying capitalism, but either way, I think he got it right. Looking at what's been going on recently, particularly in this primary season that we've been through, we've got the communist Zoran Mamdani, the mayor of New York City, who endorsed 3 different candidates in very left-leaning districts in and around New York City. He endorsed Daria Lisa Avila Chevalier as her name. He endorsed Brad Lander, and he endorsed Claire Valdez. They are, or at least 2 of them still are, members of the Democrat Socialists of America, and one is a former member of DSA. Now, to take the extreme, Chevalier, who is won the primary for the 13th district in New York, is the most radical thing I have ever seen. She is quoted as saying that she couldn't find a napkin, so she wiped her hands on the American flag. She's co-founder or founder of a group whose sole purpose is to eradicate Western civilization. that's pretty scary. It's pretty far left. And I am very, very concerned that Khrushchev was absolutely right that we will bury you, because we're allowing this to happen. Somewhere along the line I read that over 44% of Democrats think that socialism is a better economic model than capitalism. And when they congregate in big cities like New York or Los Angeles, they pretty much rule the roost there, and we have got a big, big problem on our hands with this kind of nonsense. If for those folks that are old enough to remember the McCarthy era, Senator Joseph McCarthy was a radical rightist, I guess. He saw communism as the enemy, and through his position of power in the U.S. Senate, he convened a number of investigations into communist infiltration within the United States government and within a lot of the social environments that exist at the time. Hollywood, universities, things like that. But he focused more on the CIA and the FBI and other facets of the United States government. And he routed out quite a number of people, did an awful lot of digging and an awful lot of stuff during that period of time in the, I guess, late 40s through the mid 50s. And reading about it, it's just trying to refresh my memory on the history of McCarthyism. I think he was right too. Now, he was castigated, he was made fun of, he was considered way out of line on a lot of the things. He even pointed the finger at Lucille Ball as one of the communist infiltrators. Well, I think she prevailed and turned out to be that she was sort of okay, but became one of the most influential television and movie producers of all time, I think. So I'm concerned about what's going on in this great United States of ours right now. And if we don't, as conservatives, take a look, a real hard look at what's going on here, I think they are going to succeed. And 10 years from now, 20 years from now, we're going to be under the thumb and influence of a full communist dictatorship right here in the United States. And the Democrats seem to be all for it. I'm finding it very hard to believe that the Republicans have basically stayed quiet on this. They can't even get out of their own way to pass the SAVE Act, but to fight off this kind of communist insurrection that's going on in our country right now. And if you look around at some of the governors that have been installed recently, you've got Abigail Spanberger in Virginia, you got Mikey Sherrill in New Jersey, you got Tina Kotek in Oregon, you've got Katie Hobbs in Arizona, Kathy Hochul in New York, and Gretchen Whitmer in Michigan. They are all absolutely radical. They are in it for the power. They are in it for anything they can get out of it. Their agenda is to hell with everything else. We will be in power. And that's the kind of stuff that's going to get us in trouble. So if you're old enough to remember the Nikita Khrushchev banging his shoe on the table and saying, "We will bury you," and old enough to remember the McCarthy era, all their fears and all their rhetoric seems to be all coming true this many years later. And I'm convinced that if we don't do something about it as God-fearing Americans, we are going to be in a world of trouble. So I'd like to hear what you're thinking. Did you remember the Khrushchev speech at the UN in 1960? Are you old enough to remember that? And do you think that there is a way out of this to put these folks out to pasture so that they don't ruin the United States as we know it? This is the Prepared Suburbanite. Looking forward to reading your comments on this one. And I'll see y'all on the next video.